your time waiting for that second chance, for a break that would make it okay. There's always some reason to feel not good enough.
Hi, I'm Ashley Duran, and my partner and I are here to talk about child abuse. Child abuse does not just mean physically. It also means emotionally, mentally, neglect, and maltreatment. In order to lower the percentage of child abuse, they made the Child Abuse Prevention Treatment Act of 1974, also known as CAPTA. CAPTA has a state grant that helps improve their CPS programs and develop innovative approaches. Child abuse can result in death, serious physical or emotional harm, and exploitation. Most cases don't get reported because the children are too scared to come forward about it. Children are either too emotional or feel threatened to talk about their experiences.
A few months after, 2 years after, because they don't want to talk about it right away because they're afraid that they're going to get in trouble. They're afraid they're going to get their family in trouble. They're afraid they're going to lose their home. They have a lot of fear surrounding it, and they also don't share because they're afraid of who is safe to tell, because the people that abuse them are usually people that they should be able to trust fully, and now their trust has been broken in those people, and so it's hard for them to make the allegations to other people because they don't know if they can trust them or not.
It's very sad. It's tragic that most children are in fact victimized by someone with legitimate access to them, a family member, a family friend, a teacher, a coach. But law enforcement getting involved with child sexual abuse is critical, as well as Child Protective Services, who can then provide services to the family. But these children will suffer in silence because they're in a position where they feel they either can't tell or no one will believe them.
I think a lot of parents are mimicking what their parents did. The cycle for abuse is just a continuous circle, so it's from one generation to another. And so I just think that a lot of times the reason they abuse their children is because they just don't know better. They don't believe that they're actually abusing their children because it's the old school method, the old school way of bringing up children, because this is the exact kind of punishment that their parents used on them and that their grandparents used on their parents. So even though it technically is abuse, I don't think they're denying it because they are trying to get out of trouble. I just don't believe that they know better. It's more reported during the school year because there's more eyes on the children, less reported in the summer because you don't have all those mandated reporters involved in the children.
Mandated reporters. These are classifications, mostly by profession, of people who are required by law to report child abuse. The reason that they set out these categories of professions, doctors, teachers, law enforcement officers, is because these people are most likely in a position to be able to know that a child is being abused or to see the effects of it, and would therefore have a responsibility.
The worst case that I worked on was a home that was just filled with trash and dog feces all over. There was no running water in the home because they hadn't paid the bill. All the electricity had been turned off and stuff. And when I went there in response to a hotline that I received, the child was barefoot with dog poop everywhere. She dropped her bottle onto the floor, and the mom picked it up and handed it right back to her, and she just stuck it in her mouth. And I think that was just the worst case that I ever worked, because I couldn't believe that this mom, who was a stay-at-home mom, allowed her daughter to live in a place with such filth.
Hi, I'm Amber Whitmore. Child abuse can happen by anyone. 40% of victims were maltreated by their mothers acting alone. 18.3% were by their fathers acting alone, and 17.3% were by both parents. The most common reason child abuse occurs is because their parents are abusing drugs and alcohol. At least 70% of all reported cases of child maltreatment is substance abuse. Almost 22% of victims were removed from their homes due to maltreatment. An estimated 1,460 children died as a result of abuse or neglect. 48% of child victims were male and 51% were female. 77% of these children were 3 years of age or under.